Hello, everyone, and welcome to round 4 commentary of the National K-12 Grade Championships taking place in Spokane, Washington. I am super excited to be back here and bring on the action or discuss the action with everyone in the stream. So far, I've noticed a lot of discussions being brought by the parents, by some of the players who, after the games, would stop on stream and say hi, let us know, let me know how things have gone, um, what they thought about, and things like that. So it makes me happy that we can have this interaction and make these streamings more and more educational. So kudos to everyone who's being a part of it, and of course, always thank you to US Chess for giving me the opportunity to be here and comment on these games with you. And big thank you to all the organizers, staff, US Chess staff, volunteers who are in Spokane, making sure that this event is going on in a good fashion, and making sure that the games are played in a fair play manner. Yeah, so we have a lot of people to thank for the arbiters, tournament directors, and of course TDs and DGT operators who make sure that I get the games live so we can discuss them together. Having said that, I think I just wanted to remind all of you that today at 2:30 local time, you will be able to join in Grandmaster Michael Road, one of the guest grandmasters for the tournament. He's going to take on all comers to play Blitz. So if you have finished your game and want to stop by and challenge him to a Blitz game, feel free to do so in Exhibit Hall C. That's the Skittles room. And yeah, it would be nice to know that people have joined in. There are quite a lot of other things to be done on site, including joining in on stopping by the girls club room. Hi to everyone, making that a really nice and safe environment for girls. There's quite a few events and lectures given by Women's Grandmaster Zoe Tang. And of course, all the volunteers who are a part of that, the making the room come together. Super thankful to that. So if you can stop by, say hi from me too. And yeah, those are the main things I wanted to remind everyone about as we get into round 4. I can't believe this is the middle of the tournament already. It's a short tournament, 3 days, but it feels so long because of the amount of rounds that are being played. So we can get into the games and see whether we'll have some exciting positional games or maybe some brilliant attacks. Only time will tell. So let's get into it. Aliat, hey, great to see you on stream. Finally, it's been so long. I don't know where was the last time there's. Well, I did see you, last month, but I mean in general. Things are going well. I think the tournament is going well. I believe some people have had trouble making it on site due to some flight cancellation or delays. Some players yesterday were telling us that they made it there really close to the starting time and then had to rush from the airport to make it to round 1, not to get default loss, and some were able to even win their games. So that was quite an exciting adventure, I would say. But things in general doing quite well. I appreciate you, Alia. Thanks. Other than that, I don't know. Let me know what else you want to know. Maple, how are you doing? In and out of chat sounds good. Sounds good. Hopefully there's some learning for you, and good luck on your final exams. Okay, let's get into this. So we have most of the games are being broadcasted well, not most of the games, top 4 games for grades 9, 10, and 11 and 12. Top 4 boards are on DGT. And then the top 2 boards for every grade from 2nd till 8th grade are there. There's a link. I pinned it to the chat, so you can always, go back and check it. That's going to take you to the chess.com link of the tournament, and you can look whether your kid or your friend's game is live. And if you have a request for me to check out that specific game, please do not hesitate to let me know. Or if you find some interesting position or game that I haven't looked at yet, feel free to point me in that direction so that we can look at it. I try my best to give similar amount of time to all the games. I know sometimes there are some positions that get a bit more exciting to talk about than others, and apologize in advance, not trying to give any special treatment to anyone. I just kind of go through the positions, and it's of course more subjective, but I am always willing to be guided by you, so feel free to let me know if something comes up. All right. Planning to arrive to one of these tournaments is a risky move. I know, but I think maybe the flight was delayed from Thursday, and maybe that's what happened. It was delayed, and then it was delayed to the next day. They had, I think, some storm or something going on. I think throughout the U.S. this period is more cold, wintry, stormy. So you have to be mindful with how you're planning your trips, I guess. All right, Zapata, sounds good. I will be going to board 16 for sure. Sounds good. Okay, so this is board 1 in K-12. William has had a really great start. He's on 3 out of 3 and is currently playing the Dutch. This is something it's actually knight c6 is a very nice move in this position. Because we have the pin, so there's no d5, so black is keeping the knight a bit more active than in d7 to be able to support d5. Yeah, we can just go to board 16 right now. It's still early in the game. We can see what happened in this game. So we have Krish against Sandeep. This is the game you wanted? I guess this is the game you wanted. Okay, so we had a closed Sicilian. It already looks very good for white. Knight f3 takes. I don't know about knight e7. Maybe h6 to play knight f6 could work here. I'm not super familiar with this particular line. I guess black can proceed with the castle, and I like white's position just a bit better. I think it's more, it might be a bit easier to play. We can bring the king to h1, rook e1, maybe trade the bishop. We have the f-file open, but of course we did give up the bishop pair, so it's still early to tell what's going to happen in this game, Zapata, I think. Okay. It's still too early. It's still, I will get back. I will circle back to that game later. Okay, what have we got here? A Caro-Kann. This variation. So a lot of people, and we've seen a few games already in this tournament, are going for bishop f5, right? Because the whole point of playing the Caro-Kann is to make sure that bishop gets out. Some people like to delay the development of the bishop because it could go to g4 as well. So they go for c5, and now You wasted a move, but you attracted white to capture, which means playing a normal French, white has taken, therefore they won't have the chain of pawns. And black accepts the fact that white will not have that, but they're closing down their bishop in c8. So there's always pluses and minuses to various attempts of getting a better position or comparing specific openings with others and just changing move orders to get what we want. Queen h5 is a surprise to me. I think I've seen this being played a lot. Either knight f3 or a3 is what we see quite often. The idea is you do not want this bishop on the diagonal for too long, so you are chasing it away with b4. They go back, and then of course knight f3, bishop b2, stuff like that is often played. But white decided to go queen h5. Very interesting. Board 12, got it. Queen h5, okay. There's no... I guess this could be the idea. Keep the pressure, but we don't care. We develop. Knight f3. Maybe g6. Just chase the queen away and then, you know, develop. Black's target will of course be this pawn in e5, so we can anticipate some development as such. Bishop d7. As for castling, black will keep the king in the center for a bit longer. White will have to defend that pawn, and it's a game again. Okay, we've had another Trompowsky. I believe Aritro has played the Trompowsky yesterday as well, but black had taken with that pawn. So I was mentioning, okay, it depends what kind of opening you play, of course, but what you need to remember is that in a pawn structure where you will be playing c6, d5, when white gets c4, fianchettos the bishop, they will have the ability to, at some point, take to stabilize the weakness in d5 and then bring in new pieces into the game to attack that pawn. And so that is something very important to remember, because you want to make sure the pawn will be protected. And so when you're playing with g6, that can happen to you. So maybe when c4 is played, maybe capture it. This way, we get rid of the pawn. Now, a big response to bishop g5 is e6 or knight e4. And white has two big moves, bishop f4 and bishop h4, and the theory starts there. I do not know all of it, so we'll be skipping that part for now. All right, g3, and looks like we are going to have, just d6, not d5. d5, as I mentioned, okay, of course here loses a pawn, but in general that pawn would be weak for a longer period of time, so we're trying to avoid it. Okay, so d6, e3, okay, I like e3 to develop the knight in e2, and now castle. Okay, so we have a position similar to the Dutch, just that it's not really a Dutch because black has double pawns on the f-file. But because of the pawn structure and because white has more space on the queen side, white's going to attempt some pawn pushes, pawn marches on this side of the board. It also helps that the bishop will get opened. As for black, we'll probably go h5, h4, and building up some kingside attack. It's still early to tell what will happen, but this is my prediction for that game. All right, so we have Adve against Hema. This is board 4 of the 12th grade. Black has chosen a Botvinnik setup. Okay. F4, that seems a bit too ambitious at this point. B4 would be something I would be looking at for white. Attack this side of the board. As for this knight, if you do retreat, you can put it in f3. If not, you probably want to do something like this. White wanted to have the bishop in f4, but this leaves a somewhat weak king So I think black is for choice here. I'm liking black's position just a tiny bit more here. Another English, symmetrical, and d4. I think this is called for knights or something like that. Fischer was playing these systems quite a bit. b6, castle, bishop b7, maybe b3, bishop b2. A queen goes to d2 or d3 in some of these positions, and white oftentimes plays e4, and then this knight from c2 will be brought towards d5, but has retreated now to avoid trades because black lacks space. So still early. We have Sicilian over here, still early on in the game. Another Sicilian, accelerated dragon. Maruti Bind better said. All theory. All theory. A5 is I was gonna say maybe a bit too soon, but there's some ideas for black here. One is to play bishop e6, the other one to play bishop d7. The one with bishop e6 usually puts pressure here, and then this knight will be brought towards c5 later. The one with bishop d7 is just to get the queen out, and then maybe rook c8. But a5 is a move that is played, of course, still getting this outpost in c5, but it might take a little bit of time to get that going, I guess. I don't know if black wants to play a4 or what. This would be nice as an anticipation to b3. Okay, so we've had King's Indian set up against the London system. Equalized by black quite easily. Another Sicilian. What line was this? 4 knights. Bishop c5. I've played this line myself on a number of occasions, and typically I go bishop b4. I like this line a bit better for black. Bishop c5 is a nice alternative too. The whole point is basically to remember what to do. Sorry. To remember what to do after this check in d6. A lot of people get scared by this move, and obviously you do not want to take. So this should be clear in your mind. This is not happening. The reason for it is after queen takes, black might say, I'm just gonna trade queens also, and I don't have much space, so trading pieces should be in my favor. I'll get rid of the queen from there, and then I push d6, and endgames are more comfortable for black in general coming out of the Sicilian. However, white has this move bishop f4 followed by long castle or rook d1, and the problem is black is going to suffer because the bishop in c8 is not going to be developed. So you really need to be mindful about those situations, what will happen. So you do not want to go for that move. So do not panic if this situation arises. Of course, when you're learning this opening, you should know. The correct move is king e7. I know it looks suspicious, but the position is not opened yet. So black will castle by foot or by hand. I don't know which one we're saying. I always say the wrong one, so feel free to correct me, whichever is the correct way of saying it. But basically, now you can, of course, attempt to save your knight. e5 will be played. Of course, the knight will be escaping through f5. The king goes to f8. Bishop moves somewhere or something, and then black will play d6. Get rid of this knight, maybe even h6. I don't know if we were to put like a few more moves, bishop e6. Chase this bishop away. Then we want to play g6, king g7, rook comes into play, and black has some kind of Najdorf like position where okay, it took a little bit longer time, but white wasted time with the knight, you know, jumping around, right? Knight f3, d4, b5, bam, bam. Like that's a lot of moves to be made with the knight too. And so, you know, we can afford to also waste a bit of time with our king. So just keep that in mind if you're playing this this kind of Sicilian, whether with bishop c5 or bishop b4. So white still attempted to maintain a piece on d6. This is going to make it difficult for black to develop the bishop. And now knight takes c6. What is the best recapture, you may ask? And I may not be able to give you an answer just yet because I don't know. I want to take with the b pawn. My heart says to take with the b pawn. But this looks nice as well, though I'm not sure how I get the bishop out. Probably with b pawn. Because I can see a follow-up to this, chasing the queen away and going d5. For the other one, I don't really see an easy way to get the bishop out. That's why I would go for this, personally. But I wonder if black messed up somewhere because, I mean, everything seemed relatively forcing. Bishop f4, castle, you have to move the queen, you have to trade the bishop. I wonder if this would have been better. Maybe not. We can say we won the knight. We won the knight in d6. We're not leaving from there. Okay, well, I guess that's an option. Okay. B takes then. B takes. Okay. Gordon has had a really nice game the previous round. We have another Sicilian here. Okay, it's just d5. Because bishop d3 was played as opposed to knight c3. That's why knight c3 is the main move, because you're defending that pawn but also controlling d5, which makes it difficult for black to actually get this position. Okay, kind of equal. What was this, Nimzo or something? Yep, Nimzo. Okay, knight e2. I like knight e2. There will be stuff like this to be expected in this specific game. Another English. Okay, this is board 12 that you're mentioning, Zapata. So let's see. Yes. No, that was not the one. Maybe you're talking about another game. Maybe you're talking about this one. Because Evan just won. I think you're talking about another. Yeah. All right. So we have a bit Benoni with reverse colors. This is okay. White's plans are quite easy. Knight c2, potentially rook b1, a6, a3, b4. No worries about that. All good. We'll keep it. I'm trying to catch up with the different openings we got here before I get actual more game requests, to make sure I kind of have an idea what's going on opening wise. If I see anything nice happening. I mean, it's been half an hour since the players have started, and yeah, we want to try to get some good ideas. That break was short. Wouldn't you guys say the break was short? I feel like you know, it's just I took a break. I didn't even have time to get anything to eat. I had a longer phone call, which maybe was a bit too long. Blaming the person for keeping me on the phone that long, but I should take a rest, right? Like you would think because I talked the whole day, I should have a rest between the commentaries, right? Yeah, that doesn't happen with Sabina. It's not happening. Um, I always give my 100%, whether it's commentary or some friend talk or talk to a friend or whatever it is. And then I literally went outside a bit because I think it's important to get some fresh air and not stay in front of the computer. I was supposed to select the positions that I wanted from the previous round, but I did not have time to do that. So literally, no food. I had time to make a coffee, which I'm drinking. Um, yeah, so I cannot imagine what the kids did. They had 1 hour in between the games. It's tough to be a chess player. It is tough, I gotta say. I appreciate their determination to do well in this tournament. I hope their parents were close by to bring them some lunch, and they had time to rest a bit in between the games. Because yeah, that's important. That is very important. Um, and going out too. By the way, if you're playing such a long tournament, just make sure you get a bit of fresh air because it's intense having to play and always be on the look for all the different threats that the opponent has, the plans. Maybe you're surprising the opening and you have to spend time to recoup, remember. You really want to do all that, and that requires a fresh mind. So I did that. At least I got to walk a bit. Another Sicilian. Lots of Sicilians this round. This canal attack, c4. Yeah, I've seen this. This has become more popular. Like lots of games being played in this here. Oops, what did I do? Castle d4. Yep. Okay, transposing to a Maroczy bind. Knight d7. But see, now we got an extra knight. Normally the knight gets traded, but for whom is it better? Oh, that's a blunder. This is a blunder. Why is that a blunder? This was played. Is the knight trapped? We have to go e5, which I guess black played. And that's a pawn. Oh. Oops. That was a tough whoops for black, I gotta say. That was a tough whoops. Because what to do? How terrible would this move be? Guess not. Black sometimes trades a bishop in e6 or leaves it there to be captured, so I figured this should be fine. It's not perfect, but it's something. The only problem is knight c5 could allow a capturing, and then the pawn structure here with the double pawns would be an issue. So maybe black would have improved the position somewhere else. Maybe the capture was premature. Maybe black should play e6 first if he wants to play e6. Because now in case of a capture, we can take back with the pawn, even with the knight, and we're not losing material. Actually, the knight is probably better. We're actually putting pressure. Yeah. Okay, this is definitely, you know, big advantage for white if not decisive with the extra pawn. It's hard to imagine being able to build up any kind of counterplay, but you never know. Another Sicilian. This is the round of the Sicilians. JJ better listen to this stream and get some notes. I'm just kidding. If you have missed JJ's article, it's a beautifully written article. There are pictures from the tournament as well, and some of my favorite moments from day one of the competition with the rounds, the round day. So if you missed it, you can always check out Chess Life online and catch up with all the news. Okay. Is this an option for white? A threat, better said? Probably. White enjoys a comfortable position here with pressure. Just you need to decide whether it is worth making a trade between the b7 pawn and the a5. If it's worth it to give it up for grabbing b7, or white could develop that bishop, bishop e3, bishop f4, bishop g5. Oopsie, sorry. No. Bishop e3, bishop f4, bishop g5, and bring this rook to double up and do something like this. That remains to be seen. Sicily, oh my god. How many Sicilians did I count so far? Like, did we have like 15 Sicilians or something? No, like 13? At least 10. I think there's been at least 10 Sicilians out of 16. I'm okay. We already actually looked at this position. Wait. We already. I'm not counting it. I should not count it twice. We looked at it quite early because Zapata requested it, I think. Finally, a d4 in between the Sicilians. Jobava, London. You know what's interesting is that I've seen a few courses of the Jobava London. I've seen people talk about it. I've seen YouTubes. So I decided a few times to play some of it myself on Blitz Online or Bullet. Don't recommend Bullet, by the way, only for fun. Personally, it's my opinion, not shared by everyone necessarily. Do you ever think I get these positions? No. Black always castles longer in games against me. I don't know why that is. Have you ever noticed that you're looking at a lot of games and you see it happening and you want to have it happen in your own games, and then guess what? It's not. That's why you always have to be prepared. That's why you always have to review your openings prior to a tournament. If you want more information as to how you can prep for a tournament, you can always check out some of the other videos that I did for US Chess. There was a pre-show or pre nationals or promotional video before the nationals to kind of discuss a little bit my thoughts on what may need to be done to prep for a tournament, specifically for this one maybe. You can definitely check it out on US Chess. You may or may not know, but US Chess is on all social media accounts aside from the website, and you see me here, you are here. Don't forget to follow US Chess on X, former known as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, in order to stay notified with the different events that are happening, different results of people. There's a lot of information and definitely videos In the past year, National Master Brian Tillis has done, I think, an amazing job in putting together more educational videos, not only with chess content, but also content that helps organizers, tournament directors, teaches, or reminds parents how to register for tournaments and things like that. Lots of great stuff there. So I'm going to put the link for all of the socials. So if you're not following US Chess on one of those, this might be the moment to do so. But I highly recommend YouTube to subscribe to that when different things are posted. And for those of you who are wondering, Sabina, you're streaming this now, and I see you're talking about my kids' game. And I would really like them to hear what you said about it, because maybe this is something that you express in such a way that maybe they can understand. They might not get it from me, but if you are wondering about that, these streams are going to be posted on YouTube later. Hopefully by the early Monday or Tuesday, all of the videos will be uploaded. Rounds 1 and 2, I'm told, are already on YouTube. So you can always look back also for previous tournaments and kind of scroll through the minutes and get to the moment where I looked at your son, daughter, or student or friend's game, and let them see what I said. Hopefully all good things. And yeah, that's where you can do it. I believe Twitch does delete them after 30 days or so, so YouTube is the place to go. So feel free to follow US Chess. And on top of that, of course, few other things are being posted. So I'm looking forward to seeing if White will be able to build up further attacks here. For now, this is something that needs to be taken into account. So probably Bishop A4, Bishop B3, A3 to chase the knight away, and then we will be focusing on potentially long castling and then trying to get G4 in. Okay, so we have a reversed modern, like I think it's called Kia, right? Still early to say anything about that game. Ooh, what was this? Carol. Oh, 92. Okay, I'm not familiar with this move. We've seen Bishop D3 earlier this morning. We've seen H4, Knight F3 are typical for this position. Michigan Eagle, hey. You are not impressed by White's chances? I guess it depends. If you know how to play with black, normally you should be getting relatively decent positions, I guess, right? So 92 E6, knight G3, bishop E2. Actually, this was kind of a cute way of attracting C5, C4, you know? And knight B5, yeah. There was that draw between who did it. It was Andrew Tang drew against Levon Aronian in some US championship a couple of years back. And I think he played it then again the next time against Fabi, and Fabi had this system planned something with f6, and eventually was able to win that game. If I'm wow, wait, Steven, you're done? I guess your game wasn't live, so I presume you have won, right, Steven? You are missing a lot of Sicilians. Lots of Sicilians on the horizon here. Well, this is not the Sicilian. You came to a Caracan, but I mean, there were a lot of Sicilians that were played in this round. That's all I want to say. Colorado James, thanks so much for subscribing. US just appreciates it. Thanks. No, I promise. I promise. Most of the games are Sicilians. I promise I'm not lying. Okay, let me do a refresh so that you guys can see. This was not a Sicilian. This was also a Caro. This was also a Caro, but don't worry. There are a lot of them. I counted a lot. I don't know where they are. Here. No. This was a Sicilian. Sicilian number 1. Sicilian number 2. This was not a Sicilian. This was a Sicilian. This was Sicilian number 3. Listen, Sicilian number 4. This was a Nimzo, English. Sicilian number 5. This was a Sicilian, right? Yeah, Sicilian number 6. See, I'm not lying. Let's be clear here. Sicilian number 6 was a 6, 7. Okay, 7 out of 15. Come on, that's a lot. That is a lot. Okay. Sicilian number 8. How many times in a minute can Sabina say Sicilian? Let's check it. Oh, this has to be like a clip. Sabina is being trolled by the chat, therefore she has to prove her point. I got nothing with the Sicilian. I'm just saying there were a lot. That's all I'm saying, okay? He happens to have arrived while I was looking at the game in the Caro. It's not my fault, okay? I'm just saying. We have a hype train on US chess. I think this is the first time there's a hype train. I need to send this to Brian. I need to do a screenshot. I don't know if something's gonna happen, but he needs to see my my sorry, 1 minute of break just because this I don't think US chess has ever had a hype train. Okay, back. Back to this. Back to this moment. So he attracted that, but hasn't he wasted a bit too much time? Because it was like 92, 93, 92, knight f1, like a bit much or something, right? Knight f1. Okay. What else? Chat is quiet. I got distracted. Is white going to be able to? There's too many knight moves for me. I lose track. He has to push some pawns finally. Okay, f4. Okay. I'm not an e4 player, so I need a minute here. I'm not particularly main e4 player. I don't know if this, I mean, it was cool. It was cool when it happened, knight b3, knight d2, but I'm not sure if I still feel that is that cool anymore, right? Like, Do you guys have an idea on how white can... Should we play h3, g4? Still too slow. What about knight e1, g4? Because we already wasted too much time with the knight, right? Like, if we do this, I feel like this could be a good thing, no? g4, knight g2, f4, knight f3, you know? Or why move the rook on the e file when it's actually needed on the f? I think f file is the place to be. Okay. Back to the beginning. Bishop g6, c3. 92. It's like, it's too many knights moves for me. Okay, black's play on the queen side is slow as well, of course, but you know, like, it's... Bishop d2 can happen, or the bishop can stay in c1. White is gonna leave these two pieces here, and then we are focusing on that f5 break. Actually, f5 will be nice here because we're attacking there. So I guess maybe that's why he wanted to have the knight here, you know? Like, it's a thing. Okay. Wow, this was a fast... Oh, this is that Scotch. This is the Scotch variation. That's I think it's equal. It's theory forever until it gets into that equal position. I've played it myself. Yeah, there's not much to expect in this position, and I guess both players knew the theory, and yeah, once everything gets traded, there's not too much to do. So this should be a good one for Mason because he's drawing a much higher rated player. Back to another Sicilian, looks like. We had transposition to Marti. This. Well, actually, this looks better for white. Normally we take like that and take over the c-file, but here I want to put more pressure. Bishop f1 here and double up and try to put pressure on the e7 pawn. Black will attempt b5, but maybe we can go a4 to stop that, and then we're focused on that side. That would be a goodie kind of line. Another Scotch, but this is a different Scotch. Knight f6. Okay, knight f6. So the other one was okay, queen e7. It's been a while since I've seen this. I used to play myself with black, and once I dropped the piece somehow. This is important. b3, g6, yep. f4 to protect the pawn. I thought it was, yeah, bishop b. It's about the same. If you don't play f4, then you can't. g5. Okay, this is new. g5. Interesting. How do I feel about g5? I like it. But I wish black had made some kind of useful move. Like, I don't know, castle and after f4 g5, you know? That way at least you wanna you wanna tempo, but then of course also white would likely not have responded with f4 after castle, I think. Bishop b2 makes way more sense. But you know, sometimes you can do stuff like this. f4 response g5. We wanted that and we didn't find another useful move. Interesting. Maybe I should go back into playing e45 if this really works. Very interesting idea shown by Shiv here. Very interesting. I wonder if it was prep or he came up with that idea at the board. Because you know chess.com doesn't really show you the timing. I mean, it shows some time was spent, only some seconds were spent on that move technically, so interesting. If that was prep, kudos to him for finding that. Ooh, we have Celine on first board in K. What K is that? Let me make sure I'm not messing up. So 5th grade. And I know Celine. Celine was in one of these camps that I taught, Castle Camp, great camp, by the way. If you, I don't know if I can advertise it or not a little bit, but there's so many great camps out there. The Castle Camp is one of the oldest ones. For it's a different kind of camp where you actually stay on site, and there's a lot of instruction with different coaches. And it was a pleasure having been invited to coach there twice, and Celine was there. And then I had a few group classes with her, and she's definitely very talented. I'm very excited to see her having made it to the first board. So let's see how she's doing here in this game. She's playing a high rated player, but it looked like that position was really good. Knight c3. E6, knight f3. Okay, so it's just like normal Slav exchange variation, basically. Very, very normal setup. At some point, white needs to take control over that square if given the opportunity to do so. Black decided to go back and trade. Okay, so very equal position, right? So what do we see here? Just blunder, that's it. That is it. Free pawn. Black missed that. So if Celine finds it, she spent a bit too much time, but I mean, this is just looking great. This is looking really great for white. I mean, obviously you don't need to capture back to give up an exchange, but what are you gonna do? I mean, okay, we can. I'm just a bit surprised by Black's decision to play that, but I hope Celine finds bishop takes b5. Okay. Tactics is something very important, especially for these faster time controlled games, because you know the pressure of the tournament and the time management, you know, will eventually lead to positions that you have to be mindful about playing, like would be looking equal for a while, but then things could change. Knight c4, very nice in between move, and I'm wondering if white will choose to take once this queen goes back, or just bishop c1, or maybe nothing. I don't know if I want to give up the bishop, because the bishop can help me with g5, so maybe just bishop c1 looks like a nice way to keep the pawn covered, and then white is the one who's going to be pressuring, putting pressure for position improvement there. Sicilian Caros, I guess, today. It's a close call for which ones of these were played more. Yeah, but this is relatively equal. Not much to expect. White has more space, but not sufficient pieces to really take advantage of it. And white has weakened the position too much. Where's white's king going? I guess maybe staying in the center for now, but f1 could be a fine location for now. Quite equal this position. We have another Sicilian. Rossolimo. Okay. Scotch Gambit this time around. Okay. White recaptures. And now you play d6, so no d5 for you. White remains with the pawns in the center. Sometimes people play h3 first, just to stop bishop g4. But knight c3 is fine too. And knight a7. I was trying to see if knight g5 works, but I think not. It would have been nice if it actually worked. It would have been a nice idea, I think. Yeah, I was thinking, does it work? No, it cannot be working. I don't. It goes to f8. I'm up a piece. I wish it were. I'm just saying, like, I saw that it was put as a mistake, and maybe queen b3 then? No. Ah, is this a thing? Oh, maybe this. And then we can consider extra pressure on f7. White chose to take that bishop instead. Still no g4. I think this is an important move. You don't want to make it because you're weakening, but you're also placing this bishop on a bad spot. White probably thought this pawn structure is going to be helpful for a build up of an attack. Why not bishop d3 to maintain some pressure towards the king? Okay, e2. 5. Maybe white should allow this bishop to be captured and then switch over to that knight, but because okay, this has no threat. Rook g4, of course. And since it has no ah wait, queen c4 95. Yeah, queen c4 95. So don't fall for this trap. So rook g4, deflection of the queen. I think now we can take. That was a freebie. Why didn't want to take it just yet? Protects h3. Okay, that pawn will be falling for a while. Do we not have a way to mate black now on the h file? It looks way too exciting to not have a mate. Okay, I saw some cute idea. Please allow me to show you this gorgeousness. It's not working fully, okay? It's I just really. So if you go there, the queen gets trapped. So that's obvious. So you're gonna take, and then I'm gonna take, and you probably have to. Well, if you take, I should have sufficient material. So the thing is that if you were to go here, if only you had to go there, I would have this brilliant idea of queen e4. Ah, so gorgeous. But unfortunately, you cannot create things only with what you're wishing. You have to take into account the opponent. Otherwise, this would be this would be really nice, because we would have the mate. So black can play queen h6, and then you got no mate. So let's make that work on a different fashion. There was a quick notice. What do you mean a quick notice? Oh, I found it quickly. Listen, it's what I live for. The beauty of noticing kings in the corner on the edge of the board, and it's like black's pieces are perfectly placed for white to come up with something, but you just need to figure it out. But okay, bishop c5. No, you just, that pawn is not important. We're trying to mate here. What about e6? Would this work? Because I kind of like it. No, it doesn't. Nah. Why does this move not work? Oh, no. Can black just play here? I guess so, and you don't have too much. Do I have another? This is probably just dropping. Do I have another way to take advantage of that H file somehow? I mean, this is a bit too much, right? Also, there's not enough. It's both a gift and a curse. True, it is true, because I like to. My favorite thing about chess, and what I think it's, the engines, and so much emphasis on openings are taken away, is the creativity. So if I could spend a lot of time in a position, I would. Growing up, I tended to be the kind of player that would enter a lot of time trouble, and so that was basically something that took me down, like, kept me from progressing for some time, because I always wanted to find these ideas, the best possible ideas, and it can happen when you do that. So it works nice in analysis, but when you play, you have to make decisions. You have to learn to make decisions faster. And yeah, there was a draw on board one already. Okay, well, what about here? Can we oh, I have an idea. It's not good. It's not good. 90-30, don't care about no perfection. You've listened to my streams too much. I started talking like that because I'm talking to someone who uses that kind of those kind of expressions. But no, they play 90 with 10 seconds delay in this tournament. There's no increment in this one. So I'm thinking here, what can we do? Since my rook g5 doesn't work, I have a feeling there is some kind of like potential easy way to take advantage of this queen. It's way too badly placed. I don't know if h4 could do something. No, it's too slow, and also maybe they can take it. Prophylaxis. Even worse. Yeah, time control is tricky. What is a good move here? f3, bishop f2. Wait, a3? No, the bar didn't. The bar went down after a3. I mean, it's still advantageous, but no, I'm trying to find something more decisive. And then queen e4 could be? Maybe queen e4? No. I have a feeling it's something to bring this, maybe queen b1. No. Because I was gonna keep the pawn protected and just kind of bring it on this other side. Queen e2, but queen e2, then I'm just self-pinning. Oh, maybe this. Just, yeah. I was trying to be so fancy and I missed such a basic move. See, this is what happens, and this is how I personally waste my time getting into time trouble. If you yourselves or your students or your kids are doing that, I don't know what I can suggest. Just tell them to watch me and just tell them don't do like Sabina. And yeah, maybe that will help. Um, Anyways, queen takes e4. Just take this pawn. I like this pawn better than the other one because you're also actually, now I'm seeing it. We can take f7 too. You know, then my idea will start working even better. Okay, bishop c5, rook c8, and still white is advantageous. Why rook c8? Rook here wasn't good. This would be actually hilarious if it worked. And then queen b1, but we can go rook a1. So now. Because if I take, maybe you take, and then maybe I take here. This is covered, yeah. Okay, so this is the position, but Brian's still looking good. Maybe retreating. No. What about this idea, my friends? Why is that move not working? Oh, I'm dropping the bishop. Oh, okay, time for a break. It's time for a break. When I start blundering, I know. It's time for a break shortly. We'll be taking. I'm just catching up with the final few games, and then I'll be taking a short break. Hope you understand. This is a really long day. It's a really long day of stream. What is the best location for the bishop? Or maybe we don't even touch the bishop. This looks nice. Actually, could we take it after b6, queen f7? Think so, right? Because now, you know, since that pawn is hanging too, might as well just do that. So that could be something that white does and gives him, oh, rook down. Well, anything but this, because you get mated, but anything besides that, only one move. And now after checky, now I believe we can put in the rook, our upper rook. So, ooh, this would be a big upset if black wins this. I guess white blundered somewhere earlier. Check. So here maybe this could have worked to just take the bishop, try to hit h6. But white thought there's mate and might have missed after this. That knight could be captured. Maybe he forgot about this. Maybe he thought it would be mate. And now he stayed with a pawn down, but it should still be pretty good for white in this position. This is hanging, so I would be tempted to take that immediately. Maybe there are some other moves here, but c3 seems a bit too slow. But maybe it works too. Just not take the bishop and then still have this idea of rook h3, rook g3. So now black started with the checks and black managed to defend. Okay. This was a fast game. What happened here? This is a very fast game. Mehmet is the highest rated in the second grade. And this line is definitely giving white the advantage. Okay. White is safe. Black, ooh, bishop f8 seems a bit out of control. Why would you go back? He was worried of g4. But okay, bishop b7 stops g4 because this will be hanging, for example, as just an idea. He let the bishop be captured just so he could have the queen to attack f7. Okay, don't look at the bar. e6, so cute. Rook takes, oh my goodness. This finish is so beautiful. Rook takes e6, and when you recapture knight, check first to attract the knight there. Now everything is surrounding the black king and the move knight e5, threatening checkmate. Black allowed the checkmate by playing h5. You know, maybe forgot about it or simply, you know, just wanted to allow the checkmate. I don't know. A last attempt to defend would be this one, but I think we still should have a fast way to win. What's the fastest? To go for this, then there's rook f7. We should have something better than that. I would love it if we could just go queen f7 and then have some mate randomly somewhere. Queen g6, queen g4, and if you go rook g7, maybe queen takes e6. Oh, this is so beautiful. Very nicely played by Mehmet. Beautiful rook takes e6. I love that. Maybe not the full game. There were some ups and downs, but the finished rook takes e6 is definitely a one for the books. And then here we got some. Yeah, maybe not that because knight takes. Maybe this could be a save. Maybe bishop c8. Keep the knight protected. Attack the bishop. This looks safe for black. So after the recapturing, white just got active. Knight d5, very nice. And now white is simply up a pawn. Wow, brilliant. Well, definitely an exciting round, I gotta say. I'm pleased with what I've seen. Certainly, we will have more to talk about very soon. It's 3:30 right now local time, and so if you're on site, don't forget that no, is it 3 or 2:30? No, sorry, wait, 3. It's approaching 3 p.m. My bad, apologies. If you're on site, it's approaching 3 p.m. So, if you are on site, you can take on challenge Grandmaster Michael Rode for a game of Blitz. Everything is happening on Exhibit Hall C. He will be there until 4:30 p.m. local time, so be sure to stop by and get some game playing if you have finished. And with that said, I'm going to leave you with an overview of the round, and I'll be taking a short break just to kind of get a little bit more fresh air where there's still light outside. I don't think there's light anymore, but it's okay. Just getting a little bit of fresh air, making sure I wash my face to get ready. I'm getting a bit tired. So I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Stay close, and we'll be back. Bye for now. Hello, everyone. We are back, and we brought in. Well, we are back. I brought in reinforcements. Regina wanted to say hi again. For those of you who needed to see a lucky charm, here she is, bringing in hopefully some luck to some players. Before I went on a break, I did notice that this game ended in a draw, and it looked like White was having a more playable position, a more definitely advantageous one, with the rook getting active and having some clear ideas. But White decided to play this move 91. That filter behind me gives me a lot of credits. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I guess it's a good thing, right? Yeah, I mean, it makes things easier. You don't know what's behind. You don't know where I'm streaming from. So it says a lot. Okay. Hopefully good things. Only good things we want to hear. Or positive, constructive criticism also. So 91 is an interesting way to play and offer a draw. And I wonder if a move like this could create some unbalance. Not enough, because the rook gets kind of trapped over there potentially. Though I would be happy to. Yeah, better not. Let's see what other things we could say. Thank you, Regina came to wish everyone good luck. Temporarily, she was asking for food, but it's not time yet. So in order for her not to meow, I decided to bring her on stream temporarily. Hopefully nobody minds. Nobody minds the cat. She occasionally may suggest some good moves, so that's a good thing. Thank you. How can White put more pressure is the question. So 91 is probably played to bring in the knight over here. Black does want to go bishop e6, and it's probably the reason why White decided to offer a draw. What about something like this? Maybe still bishop e6. Yeah, so we need to find a way to stop bishop e6 and somehow. Although, is bishop so like if I make a random move and you go bishop e6, can't I take? Oh no, sorry, with the bishop I meant. No, I'm not ready. Okay. All right, so we need to see. King h2, bishop e6, we have to go back. There's. So what ideas do we have here? Reggie, do you have any ideas? To meet bishop e6. I thought I can take here, but I guess that's not up for debate. h5, they take, or even g5. Okay, silly question. No, not yet. But if the king were in g2, and if I had one more move to go knight g5, I probably could, and then I'm coming to the h file. Like, I wanted to go knight g5 directly, but if I go directly, that knight can be captured because I'm not ready to do things. Or maybe bishop g7 here or something, followed by bishop here. So I want to do something like that. So I think king g2 is a nice approach. Now what do we do after this move? No, no, we cannot. Don't tell me rook c7 works. No, it cannot be. That would be really cute if it actually was like forcing this, you know, but it's not forced. I mean, we're winning with black, that is. So here, okay, we go back. Why is the bar going down so much? What's the move I'm missing? Tactical move here. It's a tactical idea. I know it. It's just no. I cannot believe that this is not working. So if that is not working and this other one is not working, then what is the move? I know I'm having a dark spot. Blind spot. Anyone in the chat willing to help? No, but rook d3? So it's a difference. Ah, nice. Nice one. Okay, rook d3, rook e3. I didn't see it. Oh, yes, you're right. In this spot. Yeah. Of course. Thank you. I was not even considering this idea. But here after king there, probably you can just take the pawn. I mean, you just take it. So that's, yeah, just king g2. And now we are getting ready. So like, okay, move like that. I think this or preparing it somehow will work. Black is running out of moves, actually. 91 and offering a draw was definitely letting black escape relatively easily. And of course, black has to take the draw. Like it's a very difficult position. Yeah, beautiful find, Sergetsi. So king g2 and now rook d3. And if you don't go bishop there, what is it that you're gonna do, right? You don't have time for something like this because this pawn is hanging, and you're just stuck. I mean, I wonder if white could just simply sit and wait in this position, like, you know, just wait for you to know. Let's come up with something decent to do. Maybe. Can we just come by ourselves to attack you in e5? This is an idea. Thanks, Landon. Glad she came for a lucky charm for the players. I figured, hopefully lucky charm for some players. Yeah, this is looking good. It's definitely looking good. I wish this knight g5 move worked, because I really want to open up the H file. I mean, even this probably is fine, but um, maybe this as well is very unpleasant. In fact, looking back, maybe I don't even need king g2. I could just go bishop c3, bishop a5, because that's hanging. See, the more you're spending in the position, the more time you're spending, the more ideas you are willing to see. You need to take in your time. This is the kind of position that you definitely want to uh, to to take into account. So this tournament is taking place in Spokane, Washington State. So I am obviously at home because I have Reggie here with me. But luckily we got DGTs, so I can bring you all the action from home. And obviously I'm staying in close contact with um, um, people on site in case there are issues with the DGT, or if there are things that I can improve or be aware of, or make some announcements and things like that. I'm trying my best to keep everything into consideration. And yeah. What do you mean the visual? Yeah, it ended in a draw. Sorry. So in this position here, white ended up playing knight e1 and I guess offered a draw, and black agreed. Surprising, isn't it, Reggie? Yep, surprising. Okay, let's catch up with other games. So here, white has built up some kind of an attack. Rook f7. Okay. Black's managed to defend the 7th rank. I kind of like it. I think you should be okay. White is definitely enjoying a better position here, I'd say, right? Maybe not after bishop c6. I don't know why he chose to make that decision. I wonder, no, that's too much. Maybe something like this and switch over the A file. So I guess white survived. Not, the king is safe. The king is temporarily safe. Ah, but black won a pawn now. I wonder if queen b3 was an option here. But maybe still takes because this hangs at the end. So the game continued as follows. Okay, white just lost the pawn back basically. This endgame is pretty equal. Will either of the sides be able to swindle their opponent? Hey Rich, do you have enough time on camera? Okay, Regina has had enough time. Say bye. Good luck, everyone. And be mindful of these rook end games, right? Keep your queens on the board. That's her advice. Ah, rook c2, interesting. Yeah, because if you go rook b5, you're gonna fall for rook g5. So rook c2. This looks like it will end very likely in a draw. I think this was... Oh no, knight b8 was played. Oh, Abiram fell for this tactic. Oh no, I lost a piece. Okay, this is tough. So White's on his way to win this one. Sad. We left off quite early in this game. Okay, pretty balanced still. This was that. All right, Reggie, you've had enough? She's had enough. Well, it was fun seeing you guys. I'm leaving. Go, sweetie. Okay, she left. I didn't count them. Not as many as the Sicilian for sure, Michigan Eagle. Not as many. That's for sure. But I'm actually surprised that White chose to take like this. I think, well, actually, both captures are good. Maybe we don't have time. I guess that was the best option technically in this position. There was another game where a capture could happen, and I think the other pawn would have been much better. Okay, Logan is putting some pressure. Logan is putting some pressure on White here. It just needs to find the right time to enter. And actually here we're winning a pawn, right? Bishop takes g2. He played it. And rook takes. And he has some pressure. Extra pawn, but he will have to fight. He will have to play further, that's for sure. It's not an obvious thing. But yeah. So black got d5 in, and was this the one that, yeah, blundered? Can't we just take and take? Wait, which, no, not take, not yet, wait, maybe knight b5 or something. But then you go back to defend. No, actually, we don't care. Just bishop takes h7. Just take the rook. I was trying to win the queen in the process. Might as well just get the rook. Oh, this would have been. This is easy. This is easy free pawn. Free pawns, because that one will be falling too. Wow, this is a blunder. I'm surprised Sebastian missed this. After knight c7, just take. Rook is unprotected. Tactics. More tactics. But okay, this is game 2 of the day. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to see everything. I had energy being given from Regina, so that's why. That's why you need a cat in your life, or a dog, maybe, possibly if you're not allergic. Um, that was that was a cute potential idea for White. White missed that opportunity. Still has a better position, but you don't want to miss such cute tactics because you know if Black manages to develop, Black's position is perfectly fine. I mean, look at that. A great Sicilian position with a great pawn structure, rooks on B and C files. Black's got nothing to worry about now. Sebastian might not be happy when he checks this game out, and he spent quite a bit of time too. Time-wise, he's not doing well. This is gonna be a bit of a tough one if his opponent doesn't make a mistake. Because I mean, look at, there's no potential attack for White. Only Black is putting pressure here. Wait, doesn't this just drop something after bishop h7? Or knight d4 first? Because here there's... Ah, no, sorry. The bishop is hanging. Black will stay with a bishop pair. So I guess that should be sufficient. But knight takes d4. This doesn't lead to sufficient... g3. Okay, white is faster in development a bit. No queen trade, queen c2, of course, putting pressure. And yeah, so in these pawn structure positions, Black will try to find a way to play e5, f4, or e5, e4. And White needs to start marching their majority on the queen side. And rook d1, bishop c4, knight d5 if you do push that pawn with a nice play. I think this trade happened just to make sure Black doesn't get e4 in. e4 would kind of close things down for White. So White accepts that the pawn structure will be a bit messed up, but now we are threatening c4, opening up both our bishops. Knight comes to f5. Slight advantage. Okay, White's up a pawn. Okay, he was up a pawn for a while. Maybe some chances for White to outplay his opponent here. If Black plays cautiously, maybe he can draw, but it will be difficult because the bishop in b7 will support this pawn to get all the way to c6, and only if somehow you keep the knight safe in c7, but I don't think it's going to be easy to do. Was e5 an option here? No, I don't like the takes. 94, but then he takes... Ah, and if he takes, he check first, and then we take. That would be really, really good. Really good. Okay. So what happened in this game of Aditya's? Queen e1, bring the queen towards g3, very typical kind of setup. I would have probably kept the bishop because now we do have more space, so it's like a French. It's like a good French. Actually, maybe we can just leave the bishop and just develop. Let them take. We take back with the queen. The queen is being brought to the attack. Why not? Why not? Knight e2 I like, to bring the knight to block the d pawn. Ah, black has a long. Wow. Did not expect that. We got the second knight to make sure this bishop never gets opened up with d4. And Adi is getting himself set up for an attack, but he traded queens. Why did you trade queens, Adi? Why? Why not keep the queens on the board like such? Or even better, look at this beautiful idea that I just found. Knight takes c6. If you take, well, I want a piece, so you can't. You cannot take with the queen because obviously rook c6 is c3. So you have to take with the pawn. Okay. Now that that happened, we can see a weakness. So we can go for the queen trade, and here, this is one way to win the pawn, but I know we have something even better than that. I'm just trying to find the right location for the queen. Maybe we can just go queen a3. Looks a bit sus, I know, not really ideal, but look. We got a queen on dark square, bishop on light square, rook is gonna go away, rook c3, rook b3, bishop opens up, no way to cover that, you go knight c7, rook b3. I'm loving this for white. Other rook comes into play, and that pawn will be lost, and then white just brings all pressure on the queen side. I'm kind of enjoying that position quite a bit. Knight c6. Trading queens, you know, like, it's just hurting me to make that move. Because look at the knight, so sad in a8. That just helps black, you know, like, we're not playing in a team. We're not. I see the engine doesn't change much after that move. It just hurts from a human perspective to see a knight in a8 and just kind of do something to help it out. But anyways, even here, I believe probably taking, or maybe, wait, maybe rook b3 instead of rook c3? No, it's about the same. Do we have another sacrificial idea? Ah, what about rook a3 directly? Still not. g3? Ah, rook g3. You gotta be this one. You're not even thinking on that side of the board because you want to attack. Chess. Doesn't it give us sometimes a tough time finding the best possible move? Rook g3. So what's the idea, you may ask? Well, it's actually a double attack because we're attacking g7, but we're opening up the bishop, and this pawn is overloaded, is called, right? Protects both c6 and a6. So as soon as black decides to play g6, now we can decide whether we want to capture in a6 or if we want to capture in c6. I don't know. I would capture in a6 because I really don't want to take that bishop like that. Like, just let them keep your knight back to d4 to keep it, you know, to keep that d pawn from advancing. This would have been really nice. The way Adi played, I don't know. It's kind of giving black. Oh, black didn't take. That's a bit suspicious to me. Rook takes, because that knight of white is going to be so much more powerful, and black remains with that weakness when he could have just had, you know, connected pawns there. Okay, so now Adi is back in, you know, much better position. What's he doing with the rook in h3? Interesting. Maybe he wants g5, but what's wrong with h4? Rook g3. Rook f3. Okay. Rook h3. Okay, let's see. b3, beautiful. Prophylaxis. I love that. Prophylaxis, restrict the knight. a4, king b2, knight comes back. Okay, white's better. Chris, hey, how are you doing? It's a French defense with a bad bishop. It was, but white was too kind. White was way too kind, but luckily the position is still better worked out. Though I feel like he will have to go back into this game, like check this game again and make sure that everything will be fine for next time he plays it. Okay, is this game over? Yeah, this was the extra piece. Yeah, okay. Nice win by Nitesh. How are you doing, Chris? Any particular player you're looking at? Look how beautiful Ryan is playing this game. Step-by-step improvement. Better knight, better rook. I had, this was the game where I was guessing, did he end up playing rook f? Yes. I played it too fast. I didn't even realize. I did suggest this in this game to bring that rook because this one was going to cover that pawn. So he did. He brought in his knight. He brought in the rook, made sure the b pawn is secure. And now, after bishop f6, he's of course going to bring the rook to b6 and knight in d5 in the outpost. And now he just needs to find the right moment to. Okay, this is Kid. Yeah. No, he's not going to take with the rook. Of course, he will get eventually the exchange back. He didn't want to take it directly. See, he saw the knight in f8 and he said, you know what, let me just wait one more move, see where you're going with the king. And well, I guess if that was going to be played, we would just take, right? So black didn't really have many options. Is this going to lead to some mate, actually? I think so. Is it? Wait, I don't want to just blunder here, but wait, this is not mate? Are you serious? How is black defending this mate? Check. Oh, sacking the rook right back. Ay, ay, ay. I could have potentially fallen for this idea. I would think, oh, it's a mate. It's so gorgeous. Let me sack the bishop. But okay, we don't need to. We don't need to go be that fancy. We can just be fancy in a different fashion. Chase the rook away, move somewhere. Now we can go for rook b6. And now, I don't know what's the fastest mate. Where do we do the discovered? Where do we do the discovered check? Here somewhere, and then mate. Nice. That would be a nice one for sure. Okay, so black decided to sack the exchange back, but okay, how many extra pawns do we have? Only one. Still, it's more than enough. Bishop a7, I think, is going to be played now. Maybe there are some other moves too. We could also go c4. And white's on the way to win. Very beautiful improvement of the position after having gained the advantage. Okay. White's really passive. I'm not a fan of the queen in h2. I played one time this game. I had my queen in h7. Finally, I was able to get it out, but with the loss of some material and eventually the game. So ever since, I think twice before allowing my opponent to get my queen stuck on the edge of the board if I can help it. Who's going to attack whom? Played a bit too soon, no? Played a bit too soon. Actually, that drops the bishop. Forgot. This also drops the. What's the best move for black here? Could d4 work or no? Maybe we can just take it. How's black saving the piece? Maybe just sacrificing it. But what's the point? We don't want that. No, rook takes c3 was played in the game and the engine is marking it as a blunder, so I was trying to find something else. Okay, I think queen takes e3 after rook takes c3. Is it b5? But we got two pieces hanging here. I know, you can't, it's true, you can only take a piece at a time, but we need to come up with a serious threat here. I mean, to tell the truth, I was thinking queen takes a4, but you know, it's just dropping the queen. That would have been way too brilliant if it actually worked. What about, no, but knight, this? Knight takes, queen takes. Maybe not knight takes after this, pawn takes. d4, queen takes d4, and you got nothing. If it's knight h7, I'll be... No, okay, at least I know it's not that. I would be devastated to see that that would be the move. You know, I've tried knight g4, maybe bishop g4? But it's the same. You're dropping one of the pieces. Nah. So why is this? Yeah, but now one of these, wait, sorry. Which one do we take? This one? Then they take, and then maybe you are right about the captures. Maybe rook d4 first. This is the move that probably black missed. Tempo. And then you move the queen. And then I take, and I'm up in exchange. And your knight is hanging too, which is bad because I have further ideas. So if white finds rook d4, this is looking relatively bad. So what shall we do here? I want to find this move. I won't give up. I'm not going to another game until I find this move for black. What move can black have to get a big... It has to do with the fact that at the end there's rook d4, right? So we need to do something that move doesn't work, so we can go rook takes c3. So what could possibly be something that black does not allow? Is it b5? No, I think I tried that move already. Bishop e4? Really, if it's bishop e4? No. Okay, you cannot find it before me. Of course, you can trick the system and go check the engine, but I would recommend not to do that. That would not be fair. And you are TD, so you wouldn't do that to me, would you? Rook c, maybe rook c4. Rook c4. But then what's the point? What is the point? g5. Bishop e6 is better. It is better. You can tell all the legal moves. You can. You can indeed. Yes, maybe it's bishop c2 is not bishop c2. That would be crazy if it actually was bishop c2. Could it be bishop c2? Bishop c2, rook c3? No, because then the bishop takes back. And you don't have anything, right? Yeah. It's the unbelievable bishop h8. If that move was good, like it would be it will be the ultimate prophylactic move. If bishop h6 was correct, it would be the ultimate prophylaxis. Like never seen before brilliancy of, but now sad. Need some help, please. Queen. Mate in 47. Or 67, because 6-7, yeah. Knight g4 after move the rook off the nah. It's not knight g4, it's not bishop g4, it's not bishop e4, not bishop e6. Bishop d7, bishop d7? Did I try bishop d7? I don't know if I tried bishop d7. Maybe bishop d7. But then they can just take it and then just, or take that, no. I tried every single legal move. We're taking them all through elimination process. Oh my god! No way! Chris can retire now. He's going to have his retiring time. Yes, actually it makes sense, because now the bishop is free, now we take back and there's pressure. I just wanted to do something more forcing. Good one, good one. Okay, h takes g4. And if we take back, do we take with the knight? Yeah. And then sacrifice. Well, good one, Chris. Now you can retire. Not from being a TD, from playing, but you weren't playing anyway, so you're safe. You're safe. That was a brilliant find. Well done. Rook d4. Rook d4 was found. So now white is oh my god, white is winning a piece. Huh. Exactly. Yeah. We wanted to take in c3 and have those ideas. So yeah. Wow. Sad. That is a very, very sad moment for black, because going from winning to being lost by missing one move here, that would be a big upset if this actually happens. That would be a pretty big upset. Black needs to be careful. The bishop can be trapped. Rook takes, why not bishop? Bishop are threatening bg4. Okay, bishop h3, but now black gets to defend. And white is going to create a weakness on the king side, but I don't know. Oh, g5. g5 leaves a lot of light squares unprotected. If I can check board in 11. Wait. 16. Board. I literally just looked at board 16. Wasn't I there like a minute ago? No, I was focused on the previous game, the one in between. It changed. Okay. This looks like checkers gone wrong. Okay. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Like, okay, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Oh, you mean the previous game? Oh, okay, okay. Wait, what is happening here? I thought black was doing well. What? Why didn't he take the rook? There's nothing. There's nothing going on. Check. I can take with the bishop for safety reasons, so that you don't have any attacks. But anyways, it doesn't matter because this. Wait, black recaptured because he probably thought he has pressure both there and there. But now after bishop d1, white may have some compensation because if I get my knight there, I can bring in some rook lift. Not a fan. Not a fan. Hmm. Queen e7. Well, my friends, this is chess sometimes. The unexpected situations happen, and you don't even know why. That's why we always have to double check things. The tough situation for black is the fact that the time is lower, and they're not getting additional time. The time control is 90 plus with 10 seconds delay. So no increment. It's not easy. So this was that game where black now is down an exchange. Or is it an exchange down, or is it, well, technically it's not an exchange, but it will be the next move because you cannot save both of the pieces. And if you take here, I guess, no, sorry, we have to choose which piece we take, so we take here. Okay, that's good for white. So I'm a bit confused in this position as to what is white's best move, because originally I thought this, but I couldn't see the way to trap this bishop. But I have the feeling this bishop will get trapped here. Can we not go g6 maybe? So what if check? This allows bishop e1. Okay, so I need to improve that. So far we're good. Is there some kind of sacrifice there? Like, could we play g3, bishop here, knight takes d5? I guess not. Okay, maybe knight takes c4 then? Because that one, okay, maybe... Oh my god, this is brilliant. Look at this. Bishop pair, weakness, king weak, all in one. G3, an important, okay, you have to take f7. I think white thought that taking h7 would give him, you know, the edge, because of course if you recapture with the king, I think we have some tactical ideas very soon with queen h5. Maybe even we can take here and then queen h5 and take. So maybe Ethan forgot that black could play king h8, and that's why, like, now you cannot go for that idea. I mean, technically, could you not still go for it? No, because black can protect. But yeah, that would have been nice to take in f7. Okay, so now the position is the following, where white may have lost some of the edge, because the point is black has managed to kind of regroup, and white's still underdeveloped with those pieces, you know, not quite ideal. Oh, beautiful finish here. Nice way to utilize the pin. Put pressure. And this is the ultimate tactic. I guess white is still playing, but piece down is going to be difficult to deal with. What have we got here? C5. This is always a kind of idea you have to be mindful about from the Scotch, because it's easy to forget about that bishop in a6. That's why black brings the queen on that side of the board to make sure the bishop gets covered. Sometimes king b7 is played too, but I guess here... Wait, what happened here? Do we have one of those mating ideas now? Maybe... No, wait. I know there's a tactic. I was originally gonna go for this line, but I don't really see the mate and white defends. But it's something with opening up that I know it. Could we go bishop b4, bishop c1? No. Queen d3, queen takes d3. Oh, okay, never mind. So bishop b4. That was my next thing that I was gonna say. Queen d3 directly. I guess you want to take with the rook or something. I don't know. White's still doing well. The pawn structure of black is pretty bad, but this is very nice, because if you take, now we're gonna go queen takes a2. If you go king c3, of course you lose. So you have to go king c1. And now checky, and this is a win, right? So bishop b4, brilliant move. Bishop b2, what to do? You cannot take it. Rook d2, oh, amazing. Come on. Why he's trading? Why not? Wait. Something like this. Hard to find. Yeah. Well, he has time. He could have spent a bit more time, I think, here. Wait a second. What do we do now? I mean, if we go back, he has bishop c3. Oh, is this the ultimate idea? No, because this doesn't work, because he actually will play bishop. He will actually play bishop b2 and he's safe. Can you believe that? That would be safe. That would be a sad way to not win this. No, but we can take. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. We just needed the bishop away from there. You just need to kind of combine all the ideas and see what works. So rook e2 with tempo, it kind of forces queen d4 to keep the pawn in c5 covered. Bishop a3, the threat is to take the bishop. I mean, you don't have many options, bishop a1 or bishop c3. Obviously, if you take, queen takes, and what you gonna do this? Okay, mate is coming anyways. Rook c1 to stop the mate, and now we can just go here, and the mate will be very, very soon coming. So yeah, queen d3 gives white some chances to defend, definitely. But look at this beautiful idea, just rook e2. Okay, wait, there's another move that we did not consider. I did not consider. Check here and now. Let's see. Well, in the worst case, if we wanted to have like a dominating position, we can do this, and then maybe e3. And white is really moveless. Like, it's just difficult to do anything. That's hanging. The bishop is covered. We could go back to a6 and bishop c3. It's really difficult to. This is hanging as well. We can go to g2 e2. Yeah. Okay, so we'll see if black manages to win that. Has Celine done? Yes! Do you remember this position? It has been a while since I've seen this, but black had made a huge mistake, feeling that doubling on the c file is the right thing to do. And don't get me wrong, I would say that it's the right thing to do also, because it's the only open file in the game. But that rook is hanging and black stays on this geometrical pattern. So bishop takes b5, you cannot recapture due to knight takes, and you're losing material. So black decided to go a5, and now white is up a pawn. So Celine is, oh my god, another tactic. Oh, she's going for it. Look at this extra tactic here. And now rook d8, knight there. And okay, she's headed for the attack. I don't know what's the most precise way. Presume knight here would have to deal with queen c3. She didn't want that to happen. Go forward, retreat a bit. Okay, so this endgame she should be better, but I don't know if it's that easy to win now without queens. It will be a long. Oh no, wait. Black has made it easy. Knight f5. This has made it easy because the f7 pawn will be lost. So was this the better? Probably this was the better location. Yeah. Oh, she actually won. Nicely done, Celine. Wow. Wow. f6. The move. Protected pass pawn, and she seals the deal. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Well, white is a bit passive, having to cover c2, but maybe if something opens up here, maybe there will be the right moment to give up that pawn to try to infiltrate, but it's probably going to be difficult to believe this will lead to a decisive game. This one was over. Oh, if you have to play this move, it is over. Oh, so white went through a3 and then realized, wait, where am I going? Because there's no entrance here, you get stuck. So now Samantha's coming. Yeah, extra piece, and white is sealing the deal. White must have forgotten about the rook in d3. Probably this was but this drops the pawn. What about maybe white just has to admit to trading queens. King f1, bishop b5. This is a possible alternative for white, but and rook f3. Oh no, not rook f3. Wait. Wait, is it c4 first? c4? c4. Ouch! I can't believe I almost missed that. Okay, so okay, maybe potentially a silly idea, but can we sack the rook or no? No, it's too much. Black will sacrifice in f6. What about c3 takes knight g4? This is cute. This is so cute. Totally unpredicted, unexpected. We're threatening, obviously, you cannot take the rook because of mating too. So you need to do something about knight f6, and the only defense that I'm seeing is queen e7, which allows white to recapture the pawn. And this way the rooks are not forced to get on a light square for the bishop to skewer them. And now rook f3, knight f6 is going to be played, and white will have some very nice continuations here. I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that. Yeah, black is much better here because now even if white has the knight and the position is closed, so you would think that the knight should be better than the bishop. The problem is this knight does not have a good outpost to do something, and black's bishop stays on a relatively decent diagonal, could eventually put pressure on this pawn, but now has the ability to go rook c8, and it restricts you from putting the rook in e2, and if you cannot do that, you have to put it in c1, which means you'll be pinned and probably d3 will be played. And that's the reason why black will get slightly better position. It's going to be difficult, so more space does help, especially if one of the sides has a backwards pawn. You know, it does help quite a bit having more space. Okay. Okay, this game is over. Oh, they played till mate. White won that. This was the game where there was that unexpected blunder White was doing really great. Had a beautiful attack. Made a couple of nice moves, but here, I think from here on, things started going downhill for White because he probably missed the fact that after Queen d3 threatening mate, Rook f5, of course, only move, he might have forgotten that after this, there's no mate here because Black is not forced to take. If he would be, then we would at least have perpetual check or something. But Black is not forced to take here. Black can do anything else, like maybe Queen f4 check, and then recapture with the Queen, and then yeah. So things started going downhill for Sebastian, unfortunately. And then as the game progressed, more mistakes were made, and suddenly White had to kind of go for equality or prophylaxis a bit just to make sure he was regrouping first. Unfortunately, he tried to make forcing moves, and then as the game progressed, the material down that he ended up accumulating through time had a say in the ending of this game. And of course, you can capture here, but the king and pawn endgame that's resulting is definitely winning for Black with 3 extra pawns. So this is what happened in this game. NK cheers, NK. Cheers for Alec Rodriguez. Okay, Alec Rodriguez. I saw his game. Where is he? We can tap the board. Oh, here, right? Board 3. He is not having that great of a position right now, I thought. White is dominant, more active, extra pawn. He's trying to defend here, but I think it's a bit difficult to. You have to just sit and wait. As for White, progress-wise, I think I don't know why Rook b6 was played, but I think something like this could happen. Rook going to b6. I do not know if I want the queen in b4 or not, but I am considering, or maybe in a3, and I am considering some c5. Maybe I just take the queen away from d4, and then I consider going c5. So when you capture with the 2 rooks on 6th rank, everything falls. This is the issue about, regarding pawn structures with pawns that remain lonely or remain behind. Rooks love infiltrating on the opponent's territory and attacking the rank with the less protected pawns. So this is going to be a difficult position to deal with, I believe. So I don't know. I don't know if he can save it or not. Rook b8, okay. White chooses to trade. Okay. Okay, trades actually are benefiting White, definitely. If, in endgames like this, when you are on the defensive side, obviously pawn down and also infiltrations for White and stuff, more active pieces. What you want to imagine is, could I hold this position if all the major pieces would be off the board? And I believe the answer would be no. Unless somehow maybe the king makes it to get c4 before White does, but it's kind of impossible. Since that answer is no, it's going to be difficult to do something here with Black, because you cannot really avoid the trades. And the king and pawn should be lost. Well, actually, wait a second. The only way, there could be some idea. If you get in the king and pawn endgame, wait a second, what am I saying? If White brings this king on this side of the board, Black can suddenly go g5. So it does depend where your king is to be in the box of that pawn. Because then we take. We're in the box. Bam! This h pawn goes forward. So white actually cannot afford to trade everything. Okay, so we thought about it. We know. Now we. Oh, come on. No, you played it too soon, Alec. A bit too soon. G5. I didn't mean to play it now. This gives additional entrance ideas for white, you know, with the queen. I don't know how you want to recapture, and now we can just take. If you take with the king, it might be even more dangerous because we're approaching danger zone with both pieces entering. G5 was too soon. But how can we try to hold? Because if we do something like this, could we do something like this? And just kind of like, even this, I'm thinking. No, but this, does this work? Yeah. This is kind of a cute idea to enter with the king. You take here. And you lose these pawns. It's a tough position for him, unfortunately, guys. I'm sorry that I have to tell you this news. I'm not sure he will be able to survive here. Yeah. But he did put up a really good fight. So that counts for something. His opponent is like 400, 450 extra points. So guess white's on his way to win this. Okay, Lucena. For those of you who don't know this, wasn't Hema like much better? Wasn't she actually? I know she was winning, but oh, she went to c6 directly. Okay, she has to attempt at least this and see if white knows to go rook d4. But wasn't she doing much better? Well, not much, but thought the endgame was equal. Did not expect it to change that drastically. How did that happen? Oh. I'm not sure if f6 was necessarily the best approach for black. So I don't know what did she do wrong. How did she lose the b pawn? I went over it too fast, so I had to go back there. Sometimes I want to save time, but I am okay. So she played h5. That seems decent. Brought the king in front of one of the passed pawns. Okay. Okay, she made her life a bit difficult here. One moment. It's a pity. Rook g4 does not work. Right? Or does it? And now basically if you do this, I'm winning with, wait a second. I'm winning like this by 1 tempo. This is the key move. Because originally I thought it might be a draw if white plays here e5. It's gonna be a draw because the thing is that black can enter in the box of both of these pawns. They're not advanced enough. They have to have crossed because of the furtherness that they are, how far they are from one another. Black's king is gonna be in the box of both pawns, and so you think that you are gonna be able to win, but you're not, because as soon as you push this, when I take, I am still in the box of that pawn. So, but the correct move, as I showed here, the correct move for winning is king e3. So I'm dropping that pawn because I keep my king close enough to this one. Whether you play g3 or not, I will make it right on time to win the game. So that's why rook g4 is a blunder. Otherwise, that would be making things a bit easier for black. So she played here, and I'm still on. That was her mistake. Okay. So if she stays, oh no, this is still lost because I play here. And if we get into this position, white promotes first, and the pawn is advanced enough that we will win. I think we might even have a check queen to trade queens or something. No, we just win here. You cannot go here because check queen, and if you go here, check and mate. Okay, so rook g5, rook here. So we cannot go rook g5. We need to find a good move for black to draw this. The rook is a bit passive, but this is like a Philidor. We just need to make sure we keep one of the pawns attacked. So I think if we do this, we should be able to draw. If you come here, we go back to attack this pawn. You cannot go rook f5 because you lose this. If you check and attempt to put the rook behind the pawn, okay, that's fine, I'll take it. So there's no real progress for white. You can push, but then I believe I come right back to try to grab the pawn. I can't take it just yet, or if you go king b4, I'll take it, and there's never a progress for white. This is one of those rook end games you have to be very cautious about, and unfortunately for her, Hema made it difficult. I mean, she did drop a pawn. She should not have dropped the b pawn. I think there must have been a way not to have dropped that pawn. So I'm thinking here, okay, maybe that check is fine. If you take, I think I can go here and grab this. So this would make things much easier because black's in front of the, so it will be a Philidor. So, okay, rook g1, if you go here, I think we can go here. If you go here, bam. Hold on to that, keep the pressure, and then we can sit with the king. This is difficult, I gotta admit. I mean, you need a moment to think about that. but she has made it difficult for herself. You know, this is marked only as a mistake. It's actually a blunder because after king d5, white is able to win the h pawn, and now with one of those b or d, b or e, sorry, white will be able to win. And of course, you want to keep the b pawn because Lucena is the easiest with the b pawn. There's no lateral checks or anything like that, and it's just winning. That was a tough one. Do you guys have any other requests for games? Actually, it's 7:30 p.m. Oh, the games must be close to being done. Let me check what else is. No, there are quite a few left, which actually surprises. Well, it doesn't surprise me that much, but it surprises me a bit because it's been 3 hours and a half since the players started. So or did they start at 4 or 4:30? When did I start my stream? I think I started at 4:30. So no, only 3 hours. My apologies. Only 3 hours. So I guess it makes sense that there are still games in progress. But let's take it back from the beginning. So this was a lucky one for Safronic. This one looks like Jed is cruising through to victory with those D and E pawns. Knight covering f6. Those pawns will start marching. He should be on his way to win this. We already looked at this position. White is getting close to winning as well. Advai has won that game, and so did Eric. Iris has the following position, which seems about equal. But there's still a lot to play. Both players with 4 minutes. Anything can happen. I have the feeling potentially some blunders might be in the horizon. We'll see. Why did white decide to take and not play h6? This is more like it. More like what you want. And then maybe e5. We need to open things up. So out of principle, I would not go f5 here because I'm giving that outpost, but maybe it works. So white. What exactly is white wanting to do here? I don't see any break or anything. How to infiltrate? Bishop rook f3, rook h7 or something? Serhane, long time no see. Hey, welcome. Yeah, rook h7, rook takes h7, pawn takes, and then the rook comes on the g file, and yeah, this could be. Can you review the game on b4? The game, this one? What exactly do you want me to review? There's not much here happening. Oh, 12 grade board 4. Oh, this one. I already analyzed this game. Are you one of the players? I literally just finished looking at it, but happy to reiterate the important points if you had white. Yeah, it was you had a slightly worse position, I thought, at some point, potentially very slight, like maybe around here somewhere, maybe potentially, I thought. But it wasn't much, and then the rook endgame should have been, I think, a draw once you reached it, which was around here somewhere. I didn't think f6 was a good choice by black because I I thought maybe it was a bit premature. It gave you some ideas to play g5. I'm not sure how exactly to do it differently. I didn't really look into it very much. Maybe h6 first, then f6. Because that way, if you know go g5, I'll take, or at least there'll be a bit more trades potentially. And after that, I thought you tried your best chance to improve. I mean, you kept your rooks active, which is normally what you want to do in rook games. The more you do it, the better. And you had this idea with g5 soon. That's why I wasn't happy with f6. You don't realize it at first when you play it, but with time, like after a few moves, it kind of makes sense. Maybe she could have played h6 earlier too, just to kind of hold the fort. And you know, the more pawns black gets to trade, the safer it is, because black suddenly is on the defensive side. So I would have probably considered h6. And I don't know, you can go h4, trade everything, but again, more pawns, the more pawns get traded, the better it is. And then of course, we can move the rook over and bring the king. But the way the game proceeded, it just seemed quite natural. You gave yourself some, you know, nice improvement ideas with the wait, was there a better move here? I don't know. I like king f5. Maybe b3 first? I don't know if it changes. No, it doesn't change anything. Rook c8? How does that... Ah, just to see where the king goes and then have maybe some checks. Ah, actually you have even some mating nets. Because now you have rook g3, king f7, this rook to g8, and you'll have some mating. Potentially, okay. Yeah, I think black could survive here. It should not be. It's not the end. Yeah, maybe you have. Actually, what does black do now? And maybe something like this. Or maybe rook g6, apologies. Rook g6 is actually unpleasant. As long as you're not dropping something. Okay, maybe, but then, yeah, like this is the best approach that you can try to be as active as you can to try um to get black to weaken that pawn, and going for it later, it was the right thing. Rook g3 was a mistake, which here? No. Why would you say that? The rook is on f3, I'm confused. I mean, okay, it's just a different... No, rook g3 is not... Okay, if you want to talk from a practical perspective, maybe could make things a bit easier for black, potentially, but you still have some active improvement ideas. So if we go for this, you know, maybe... Oh, actually, this loses after this. So you actually have to go there, here, maybe check first. Yeah, this is more practical chances. It makes things easier for black, but this is not a mistake. The position is still a draw until later when she played rook e6. Until the moment that I think she started panicking around here somewhere, because she probably realized that she might lose the b pawn. Although even after losing that b, you were pretty confident that you can win. You're not winning though. You're not winning yet. You're not winning yet. You are winning a bit later. But here, I mean, a possible resort is rook g1 because you can't take. And if you do that, I do this. You're not winning, no. Feel free to suggest some moves, but I don't see. I don't see a win. I'm either attacking your b2 pawn or your e pawn. Yeah, it's not winning until later. Here, after rook e6, you're winning. So this was her blunder. Well, she made it very difficult after dropping the b pawn because and now she has to keep the rook active so that whenever you take that pawn, she takes this. The important thing, in my opinion, is to keep the king in front of the b pawn because that is the one with which white wins, which is how you won with the Lucena position. Had white kept that pawn, or if she would have made you keep that pawn instead, maybe there were some drawing chances. But anyways, it wasn't gonna happen. I wouldn't make a trade between H and B also. Like I want to make a trade between H and E and keep my king in front of the B pawn. So yeah. Yeah, rook e6 was the blunder after which you're winning. Yeah, it was nice nice endgame. After rook e6 you played very well. So you're starting to support the e pawn, of course, and as soon as she went to try to get it, you went back to defend the b1, which gives you the easiest and most like safe way or easy way to win. So nicely done on that one. Good luck in the next round. You got one more game. Hopefully you get a bit of rest and be ready for your next game. One more round today. One more round. Yeah. Uh-oh, what happened here? 93. Ooh, that c pawn is going to be very dangerous. Could I play bishop f6 to just cover? And I wish I could play bishop a3, but I think if I do that, maybe... Yeah, black actually has some winning chances here if we take here. Because we got two pawns under attack. It's getting difficult and both players below one... Well, black needs to play faster. Okay, 1 minute both players. Are they gonna take the draw? I think there are 5 more games on the DGT that are being played currently. This is one of them. This is another one, but I don't know. Maybe white lost on time. This is over, right? Logan won. Oh, what a cute way to finish. Very nice. Wait, Sebastian is back? Didn't he blunder here? Oh, black messed up. I'm pretty sure we looked at this position and I really like black's position. I thought after g4, this queen is kind of trapped. What did I say in this position? I forgot. Knight d4, potentially? What's the highest rating? I don't know, Sarhane. I'm not keeping up with that, but here are the standings. I think it's Eric. I think it's Eric Zhao, but he's playing in the 11th grade. But you can check out the standings and pairings and everything and see. I think it's Eric Zhao who's the highest. But it's 12 different tournaments. So it's K1, K2, so each grade is playing separately. So yeah, the ratings that you see here are their FIDE ratings. Their USCF ratings are higher than these, most of them, because most tournaments in the United States are USCF rated. We are, I mean, there are more tournaments that are dual rated at this point, but most of them are only USCF, so that's why. Okay, bishop takes, queen b7. Was there some tactical way to win some material? White is okay, okay. So basically black just blundered, just dropped the pawn. You're only looking at 12th grade, Sarhane. You have to look at 11th grade. As I told you, there are different tournaments. So we have games from each grade. Top 4 boards for 12th grade, top 4 for 11th, 10th, and 9th, and then top 2 boards for each of the other sections besides K1. We don't have games from K1. So yeah, so Safranik is maybe the highest rated in the in the 12th grade, but if you look at 11th grade, you'll see Eric Zhao's rating is 25 something. So I think, you know, he's the highest overall in the tournament. In the tournament, in the location, on site. Wow, Sebastian came back. Nice one, nice one. Actually, yeah. Gordon has won. What games are remaining here? Let me check. Did everything finish? I think we have 3 more. So we have, all right, we have these 2. We have this one and the next one. Okay, this one is going to be win by black. Oh, there it is. Oh, this one was a win by black too. And then we had one more. One more is... What board is that? Akash's game. Michigan Eagle. I mean, what happened? Wait, a draw? The players were very nervous time-wise, I'm sure, about the time. This game has a lot of reds here going on. I'll have to look into it more in depth. What happened here? Wait, doesn't white have mate? Oh my goodness. Oh no, this is tough. This is tough. Oh, white missed mate. Bishop c6. Black found it, stopped it. Rook c5. Mate again! Oh my god, no! Oh no, I don't want to be in the shoes of Akash. I hope he's not looking at this game until he's done with the day. This is not gonna be fun to look at. Oh no. I feel for Akash. Uh I mean, this is a cute mate. You have to remember that you want to promote this pawn, and obviously Black thinks everything is fake, safe, not fake, safe. Everything is safe, but it's not. It's not when the bishop goes there. Oh la la. King h3. Okay. And now they offer a draw because they've made so many moves without realizing that that was a lead. Oh no. This is tough. It was a tough one to decide. I have a very fast beat heart rate at this point. I get emotional when I'm looking at some of the games. You gotta understand. It's not an easy. It's not easy. I don't know these players obviously, but I've been through these situations. I know how difficult it is when and you feel you've got something and you don't find it, and then you get in a situation where you miss it. Or the most important thing, because there's one more round in the same day and you have to play literally in an hour and 9 minutes, I would not look at this game at all. Just okay, it happened, it's a draw, there isn't that big of a rating difference, too big, okay, saved it, didn't have time, okay, just go eat something and rest a little bit, maybe take a walk and forget that, forget about this game until the tournament is over. Because if you look at this and you realize that you missed the mate twice, you will not be happy. Tough. Well, anyways, it was a very exciting day. Probably some games maybe I haven't fully covered. I apologize about that, but certainly be sure to check out tomorrow's article of Chess Life Online, where I'll be sure that important moments like this one, where potential tactical ideas have been missed, will be described, explained, shown. If they will not be shown in the article, I'm sure JJ is going to save them for the Tuesday or Wednesday tactics. So they will be there. I appreciate all of you guys for being here and supporting US Chess being on the channel. Don't forget to follow US Chess on all the social media accounts, because you get a lot of information. Every different social media platform is sharing potentially different things that are educational, and these videos, these commentaries are going to be uploaded on US Chess YouTube page, so you can definitely replay some of the things that I said, look at some of the highlight moments, and hopefully find something educational value to you. I really appreciate all of you. As a quick reminder, the next round starts at 6 p.m. local time. That's 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I will go take a little bit of break, maybe catch some dinner as well if I have the chance. I have about an hour, and I'm hoping to see you back in an hour. For those of you who might not be able to join later, just remember tomorrow there are 2 rounds. The first one starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and the second one will be at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which means I will be live tomorrow as well from 12 p.m. Eastern, and the last round at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So hope I'll see you at one of those rounds at least. Have a wonderful rest of your